So what exactly is Scrum? Well, if you ask 5 Agilists, you're likely to get 7 or 8 different answers. And what I'd like to do here to help clarify a bit what Scrum is let's just look at it informally. Let's come up first with an informal definition of Scrum. I'd like to say that Scrum is a way for organizing a group of people to get a job done. Now, as an example, let's move away from the software world. Let's move away from test-driven development and unit testing and user stories and just get down to organizing a group of people that have a job to do, and their job that they need to do is organize a community event. So it's your community group, your sports team, you're setting up a fundraising event. So what would happen here? How would you organize it? Well, first of all, you're going to need a to-do list. And someone's going to have to own that to-do list. Ideally, someone who's done something like this before, they've got a good idea what needs to get done first. So that to-do list is going to be in some kind of priority order. Because there'll be things that absolutely have to get done, and that event is coming up, and there'll be things at the end of the list. If you get to them, it's great. But if the things at the top of the list don't get done, there isn't going to be an event. And then there's the volunteers who are actually going to take items from that to-do list and turn them into things that need to get done. You know, getting the brochures, the handbills, getting the tables done. So the team is going to be taking items from that to-do list and turning it into something that's shippable or getting the job done. Now, ideally, you're not going to try and do, let's say your event is scheduled for 5 months from now. You're not going to do everything, just take everything from the to-do list and start working on it. Probably more the way that you're going to work on it is you're going to take the top couple of items from the to-do list and work on them for a couple of weeks. In fact, you may have fixed regular meetings where the team gets together for tea or maybe even get together for drinks, and you pull a couple of items from that to-do list and say, okay, this is what we've got to get done over the next 2 weeks or the next week or the next month to make sure that this event happens. And you're going to repeat that over and over. So if the event's about 5 weeks from now, maybe you're getting together every couple of weeks, taking a couple of items off the to-do list, getting a few things done, and at the next planning session, you're saying, well, did we get them done? How well did we get them done? Okay, let's take the next couple of items and work on them. And probably what you're going to have is someone who's really good at keeping the team working together, because no matter how friendly the team are and how dedicated they are, you know, personal conflicts arise, things go wrong, impediments happen. So it's often nice to have that one person who's the troubleshooter or the firefighter, if you like. That person is able to find out, oh, Carlos' car didn't start and we need to drive people to the event. Well, we know Sahil, he's got a pretty decent car. Why don't I phone him up and get him to bring his car over, or he can get his partner to bring their car over. So these are the kind of things that, you know, how you might organize a group of people to get a job done. For example, for sponsoring a community event or planning a community event. And this is kind of in principle, informally, what Scrum is really all about. If we take a look at it, the person who has a to-do list, we refer to them as the product owner, and that to-do list is our backlog. We have a team backlog, we have our delivery team, we're able to every couple of weeks or every increment or sprint have a product increment, and of course we have that facilitator, firefighter. In Scrum we give the funny title Scrum Master. Now, for those of you who think, well, Scrum is really much more than that, or it's a software methodology, I have used Scrum to organize HR teams, marketing campaigns, and also I would like you to perhaps visit this website here, jeffsutherland.org, and pick up a paper that was written by Arlene Sutherland called Scrum in Church. Now, Arlene Sutherland is the furthest thing away from being a software developer. She's a Unitarian minister, and she wrote this wonderful paper that explains how she used Scrum to organize the volunteers of her parish to put on events. So it really, before you get bogged down into the pedantic details of Scrum, really think about how would I organize my colleagues to put on a community event? How would I organize my sports team or volunteers in my sports team to do a fundraiser? And how would I honestly get things done? And you begin to see that Scrum informally is a pretty sensible way of organizing people to get something done.